Welcome back to another Million Dollars video. As you guys know, this is just my Wednesday release of Warfare Wednesday mixed with a limited giveaway. So we'll start with just announcing the giveaway winners from last week's video. Again, if you comment, you're automatically entered into the giveaway, and it refreshes every week, and you have 3 more weeks that you can enter. This is the second week. So, first winner is Y blank. I know this guy personally, so I'll DM him and get him his reward. And then we have one more winner. Every week it's 2 winners. You get to choose between 2 prizes, and you can just DM me about that. Asinte Mahai? I probably butchered that, but you're the second winner. So you can join my Discord server and just DM me, and I'll have you show proof that it's you, and then you get to choose between 2 rewards, and I'll just send you that code and you can redeem it in-game. So yeah, and that Discord link will just be in the description of this video. So, back to the Warfare Wednesday. Now, as I kind of start with every Warfare Wednesday, I'm looking around, planning my attack path, looking at different people's KP, and determining where I want to start, where I want to go. Sometimes people that are lower KP, I don't necessarily plan on attacking them, but I want to use them as jumps to more powerful opponents. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking around, because as you're boosting your KP, those players that are weaker might fall into demo level, and then you're not able to take those jumps later. So it's important to keep an eye on that. And I will be pointing out something as well later. You do see how I split my troops, or I move my troops out, so I could send a sub G march to the 92. A little bit of a longer march, so I didn't want to full stack it. Then I split my sub G march and my remaining troops to boost that city there. And I don't know why it's, I do have it sped up here, but I don't know why it's just almost laggy in terms of the troops going. I haven't had issues with this before. I mean, it still shows the actual troops and when it reinforces and everything's normal. I wonder if it's a Million Lord side, if they change the frame rate or something. And so when I'm recording, then it has an issue with picking that up because maybe it records in a different frame rate. I'm uncertain about that. But because I speed up my attacks, then there isn't too much of an issue afterwards. Visually, doesn't look too horribly. So, as you can see, just running through this first guy as the lowest KP and kind of a bridge to Time to Shine and the guy below him. Now, I scout here and I notice that there is troops in those cities close by. So then I decide to take it with a sub-G march first, just for the first 553 one, because it's only 3G defensive, and then I boost my remaining troops to then go to the 612. Although I could easily take the 612 with a sub 10G march, then, and I meant to say sub 10G earlier, but although I could easily take it with that amount, then he might reinforce the 3.3G into the 612 and be able to wall me or underwall me, and that could hurt. So instead I just decided to full stack that since it's closer there, then a full stack the 3.3, and then from there I branch off into sub 10G marches to take the remaining 90s in the area. So that's just kind of my thought process in how I'm divvying up troops, kind of trying to be the most time effective in that. And once I go there, then I was thinking of hitting Geminos, which is the skull banner above there, but I really only could hit him a few times, so I don't think it's really worth it. Plus, because he's up along the border of my main cluster up here, then if I'm attacking him at the bottom, he could see that and be like, okay, his troops are down here, so then I'm going to attack him at the top. So that's something to keep in mind as well. It's not worth sending those 3-4 attacks that I could hit him before he turns pink for me if he's going to be running through me, or have information to allow him to run through me towards the top. So then I hit this guy down here. He's actually new to this island. He just moved his main here, and apparently he doesn't re-level, just reading in chat. So I don't know how well he's going to survive so far. I know that some people are talking about walling him, so. But I'm just sending sub 10G marches to his 98s there because not too high of a troop loss, and also don't want to risk him walling me since his main is so close. Otherwise, I would full stack if he was like 3-4 levels below me, but because this is a bit of a longer march as well, then I do send just half my stack there from that city. So it's a 4.17, and I lose like 8%, so it's not too bad of a loss. I generally like to keep it under 10%, and then I just send that to the last city there and work towards Janky, I believe it's called, something like that. But I see that he has troops in all the cities there, and some people use this as kind of a buffer. The person next to me as well, Gamili, who has the 108s up by my main, he also does that, but he's spec'd into guard, whereas Janky only has like 200 to 300% guard, so it's not too bad. He's actually online when I'm recording this, and I do see Time to Shine saying that he's going to move his troops to let me take the cities there, which is, I don't know how to feel about it, because I like to have more of a active fight, but because I'm going to be hitting all these 3G stacks, I do have a pretty high troop loss in this video, and I don't neglect his offer for taking free level 100 cities, and I'm going to re-level, so it's kind of just like friendly neighbor actions there. And he doesn't wall me, and of course I walled him, I believe, earlier, and he was walled me, but this time it's an exception. So I do hit the troops here, and he does message in chat saying that he, obviously he's online, and he tells me that he doesn't mind me hitting as long as he's making a decent amount of gold, but I'm making gold too, so I don't mind. But instead of hitting the 3G, because I did have a decent troop loss, I then hit the 2G and also get a level up from there. So then I go back to my main, because it would be a bit too low to hit it, to be continuing to hit like 2 and 3G stacks and hundreds. So I go back to my main, boost my 7Gs down to that city there, and then continue to attack. And I don't hit the 4Gs either. I believe he moves them here. Let's see. Yeah, so he kind of splits it, so it's not a 4G anyways. But I move to the left and just hit the 2G stack. And I'm also multi-scouting, although he said, he won't wall me. If he does move to reinforce that city, which he could do pretty easily, actually, I would just spec into full striker and continue to hit him. And I would have as much or less of a troop loss from that, I believe. So I just take these last, just take that last one there. And then because he's pretty close to being demo for me, I decided instead of hitting the 3.06, I am going to hit the 2.9 or 2.82 Gs. But then because there's a bit of a server lag in Million Lords, then when I go to send my march, I think I even boosted down. No, I don't. So when I go to send my march, then after it's halfway through or whatever, then he turns pink. So as you can see, you can't see, but I don't think anyone even attacks him. Let's see. Yeah, so there, he turns pink. So then I'm obviously not going to hit that amount of troops in 100 for 50% experience. So then I just send my troops up to the 96 over by Time to Shine and start hitting there. Now he does have 30 Gs in the area that I scouted earlier, and I believe he still does. But one thing that I wanted to list that's important right now, when I'm looking at KP barriers, then I'm 37 mil KP, and the person that I'm looking over there with the 105s is like 80 some mil KP. And so the reason it's a good time to hit him right now is because, like, if I take that city there by Le Bois, then he will maybe not notice me as much. It's not as much of a visual change. If I took it when I was higher KP, it would just be a red city, and it would flicker and change to red city there in that city area. But because I am under 50% SKP, then I'll still be a pink barrier or border, and so it won't change as much visually. So I'm hoping he doesn't notice that I'm like jumping over there. Of course, if I want to be really sneaky, I could also change the flag, but I don't think that's a necessary choice there. So I then boost the 2.8 Gs over to that city and just keep it there for now. I was going to maybe boost more troops in, but I realized it doesn't really matter if he snipes me or walls me or whatever. Then it's a pretty low troop loss even with just 3 Gs. So I just move over and start hitting Time to Shine over here, and still sending sub 10 G marches. Obviously you can see he has the 31 Gs, basically 32 Gs in the area. So then when I multi-scout him, he has moved the troops, and so I decided to hit the city that the troops moved into, because sometimes someone will reinforce a city that they think you'll hit. So if that was the case, it would probably be the one that's slightly up and to the right city, so I figure I'll just take the one that's below that. And so when I multi-scout again, they aren't there, and I figure it's given enough time to get there if he was heading there. So then I just split my troops into 2 stacks and continue to run through the cities. It was odd to me that he made that a 102. I wonder if he was trying to like minimally gold wall me, but I also was curious if he was moving troops into that city. But it turns out he was kind of just upgrading the cities. He probably just tapped too many times, which is a common issue I have as well. So I continue to run through his cities here, and I do reinforce the troops from the other area because I don't really want to be hitting too much with 6 Gs and under for level 100s, but generally above 7 Gs is fine for me, at least this late in game, because especially since I just leveled recently, then it would be a bit much of troop loss for me, although I do have decent recruiter and whatnot. But kind of just continue to run through the cities, continue to scout, because I guess it's a bit late to mention my pathing here, but I did want to attack down and then up and then over, because when you look at the top, it's easier to attack up and then almost like a zigzag pattern, but from the bottom, you kind of want to attack down and then up. And it's just important to look at pathing because especially if someone is trying to wall you, with correct pathing, you can run through their cities quicker, and it just minimizes walls and also saves you some time, especially if you're trying to get X amount of cities before your bubble activates. So I just take these, or like I should say with the 8.5 Gs I work downwards, and then with the 8 Gs I work across, which, I mean, it's pretty simple mindset, I guess. But continue to scout because he did say he moved his 30 Gs to like the far side, which I thought it was still like on this side, but it turns out he had moved them maybe to his main, which is on the opposite left side of the island towards the top. So I didn't see any troops, and he doesn't wall me here, kind of thankfully, but you know, as I was saying, it would be more interesting if he did, but unfortunately for you guys at least, that is not the case. So then take those last cities, I boost all my troops over to that furthest city that's closest to the area that I was bridging to earlier, and send marches from there. And something that I kind of wanted to know is often, like oddly often, when I'm sending a like full stack march over to a city that's a bit further, I'll get walled or like someone will attack that city. And yeah, he was just asking me if he wanted me to take those, wanted me to have him take those and then level them. But I have plenty of gold, so I was saying nah. So instead of sending my full march to there, I send a sub 10G march and then my full march, just as kind of paranoia in case he did send, like scouted, and it's like, oh, there's troops here, let me just take that city real quick. Then I decide to do that so that I can get there in time to hopefully wall him or underwall him and take less of a troop loss, if that is the case. But fortunately, it does not work out that way. And I do take heavy losses, just attacking the 105s, because I believe it's around 10 Gs for defensive. I'm just pulling that out of my head, so I can't say for certain. And I only split into 3 main attacks in this area. But you can even see here, I attack up for 1 because I know I'm going to attack down for the second. And then I attack up to the right for the other because I'm going to attack down from there. And then I attack, obviously, straight down for the third attack because I'm going to attack over to the right. And then I reinforce that third attack there where I'm attacking up and down with the 2G march, because although the 2G march wouldn't take the city, it kind of reinforces the troops afterwards. And then I work over to the furthest right and take that last 105. Then I work down, take that, and that's pretty much it. I know he's pretty active, and last time I tried to hit him, he mass attacked me, like with no wall experience. So I knew he was active and volatile, so I didn't really want to poke I don't know, what's a good analogy, like the beehive or whatever, any further, especially because I was hurting a little bit on troops for this attack. So I just take these last few 95s and 100s from Time to Shine and pretty much just re-level my cities from there. And I just throw them all to 100s. I have like 20 Gs left, and I also have, I believe, like 30 G gold in my clan missions, which I'll probably wait to use later. I don't really see any benefit to leveling my cities past 100 right now because of how many people are on my island that are not leveling everything back up. So that's just my thought process. And the 105s that I took from the guy, I only level 1 level more because I want to make gold back on them, or at least make most of my gold back on them. But whereas if I threw them back to 105s, then I would likely not make gold. I'd lose like a couple Gs on that. And I think that's okay because I leveled up everything else. And like, I think because it's actually upgrade event right now, it worked out pretty well, and I was able to get to 170 levels. I guess I'll show it later, roughly, but that's kind of what I was doing there. So as you can see, without dumping gold, I reached roughly 70 mil KP, and then afterwards here, I do reach around 80 or 90 mil KP, I think. Let's see. So before I collect anything, you saw there, I have like 31 G troops. And so I just pretty much level everything up to level 100. And then as you can see, I have an expedition out, which is a troop expedition. I also have a little bit of my recruiter. I did collect it before making this video, so it's only like 100 mil or so that's built up now. And just throwing everything to level 100s. And as you can see, it's kind of showing up on the event tab that I'm completing that. And yeah, video's coming to an end now. It's got a couple minutes left. But I think I mostly talked about everything that I wanted to. Of course, if you want to enter this giveaway for the video that is this one, just leave a comment under this video, and you can say anything, and I'll just do a auto like comment random picker for you guys, and you will hopefully win. Again, there is no duplicate winners, so if you won again, then it wouldn't count, but you can feel free to comment regardless. And I mean, you won't win anything besides my gratitude, but it is nice to have more comments on my videos. And of course, my Discord description will be in, or my Discord link will be in the description of this video. And you can just join my Discord server to keep up with promo codes, future giveaways, content, just to talk to random people that play the game as well. And yeah, have a good time, ask for advice and whatnot. And yeah, keep posted. Again, there's 3 more videos after this one where I'll be giving out codes for 2 winners each time, and then I'll be done there. I'm gonna hopefully try to get a like Thanksgiving or Christmas giveaway as well, but we'll see how that goes. So I normally don't do this, but feel free to subscribe or like and comment the video if you feel like it, if you enjoyed it. Again, I'm sorry for the almost like laggy. It's not lag, but it's like the frame rate is different between the recording and the game. I know they just released a new update, so it's probably something to do with that. I haven't had issues otherwise, but yeah, have a great season all. See you next time.